and welcome to DiceTillDawn and my top 30 solo games and my update. I guess I did a top 10 solitaire games last year and it has been way most popular video I've done, so I want to do this a bit better this time, I hope, and get more games on this. So first, I had pretty much over 50 games as my possible solo games, but I tried to cut it down to games that I would actually play solitaire more often than just maybe if I had nothing else, I guess. So there are a few cooperative games here, but usually many of the basic co-op games I don't enjoy playing as multiple characters or stuff like that. There are a few here, but this could have been a lot more of those games if I wanted. But anyway, so now I cut it down to 30 games. Of course, I still have many big games that I have got this year that I haven't been able to try it yet, such as D-Day at Omaha Beach and RAF Battle of Britain, and those could be very high on the list maybe, but I haven't had the time to try them yet properly, so they are not on the list, but maybe next year. Okay, anyway, so I guess we'll start, and today I'll go through numbers 30 to 21. And let's start with one game that I haven't played enough yet to actually form an opinion, but that is Navajo Wars. I finally got a copy from a flea market kind of thing on Facebook in Finland, and I had been backing the P500 on G&G, but it wasn't going anywhere, so I finally got a copy for myself. And this is a truly solitaire game, I guess. There are rules for a two-player game, but I think this is a solitaire game and handles the Navajo and the big long scopes of time of the Navajo Wars, I guess, and has few scenarios to play. I've played through one properly and tried the tutorial, and still I'm way over my head so far, so that's why it's only number 30, because I really need to play this more to actually form a good opinion of it. But the things I've seen so far I've really enjoyed, and this could very well be in my top 5 solo games if it clicks, as it might, I think, but really need some time with it. But so far it's an interesting mechanic. The AI is weirdly realistic in a sense and doesn't feel like just throwing dice, and you just start seeing the bigger picture the more you play. But as I said, I haven't played enough to actually get a good clear opinion of it, but so far I enjoyed Navajo Wars. Okay, number 29 is a heavy box that I actually pretty rarely play solo, but in the beginning first of all I did, and that is Arkham Horror. When I had only the base game and maybe one expansion, it was easier for me to actually get the game and set it up and start enjoying the story with one or two characters, usually at least two, because one character is too limiting in my opinion and not fun. But as I've have almost all of the expansions, it doesn't really, this doesn't get played solitaire pretty much at all anyway, because the setup alone would be, so a solo setup would be probably close to an hour of setting all these decks, which is fun actually. I enjoy that aspect of the game when I'm playing it multiplayer, and I think the game is at its best with two players, both playing two characters and enjoying the story. But we are here on a solo list, and this is a game that many would enjoy, because as Navajo Wars, there's strong theme, strong story, and if you really want to something to bite into, you can really play this for hours and just enjoy the story, and it works. So that's Arkham Horror, but the reason it's lower because I rarely play it solo anymore. But Arkham Horror. Okay, then we're on to number 28, actually another co-op game, and that's Pandemic, The Cure, or this could very well be the normal Pandemic, whichever of those, any of the Pandemics, I think, of course, Legacy also. But yeah, so again, the reason it's lower because I play these full co-op games more rarely solo. But Pandemic the Cure is one of the good ones because it's easy to set up and you don't really have to think of the different abilities of the character so much. So it's actually one of the best like co-op games to play solo. So Pandemic, or they're not regular Pandemic, also is a cool solo game. So, 10, we're on to number 27. And a big box of Galaxy Defenders. We've been playing through the campaign of this with my friend and we are nearly done with it. But I've tried a few of the scenarios, at least the one first and second scenario maybe, solo, and they actually work. And some of them you can actually even play with only one character, which is nice, but you can't play through the whole campaign. I think 3 is the minimum in many of the scenarios, so you really have to play multiple characters. But it isn't too bad in this game. It isn't my preferred method, that's why it's lower on the list, but the times I played it, it was actually quite fun, and it's a challenge and you can really take your time when you are solo, so it don't really matter how long you ponder on things because no one else is there waiting for you to finish your turn. So, a great game, and I'm looking forward to getting to play the expansion I recently got. But Galaxy Defenders, my number 27. Okay, number 26. Again a cooperative game. I guess I'm breaking the rules of saying no, not many co-op games here. But this is one that I don't actually even think of as a regular co-op game in a sense. I don't know why, but Freedom, the Underground Railroad. I guess that it's because you can actually play this with just one character, and it's very hard that way. I've never won it with one character. You have to be brutally efficient with it. But the theme and the feeling of the team comes through, and again historic settings I really enjoy, and it's a tough co-op also. So there's just great things in this box, and I really enjoy Freedom, the Underground Railroad, even Solitaire. Of course, again, it's better with more players, and you will see the more higher we go through this list, the more the games turn towards I really prefer to play them solo. But all of these games I will gladly play solo, so they are not just some games that have a solo option. All of these are good solo games, but the higher we go, the more I prefer them solo. Okay, so number 25 next, and that is Race for the Galaxy. And especially you have to take into account the first expansion, Gathering Storm, I think it was called, and that has the solo mode. So the base Race for the Galaxy doesn't actually have solo play, so you have to take the first expansion in to add the solo option. And the first time you want to learn the solo game of this is almost as hard as learning the base game itself, but once you understand it, it's quite easy to play and manipulate, and it really gives you a great challenge, and you can easily also make it harder, so if you are an expert in the game. And at least I think Ricky Royale did a good walkthrough of the solo bot, so watch the videos if you want to learn it. The reason again it's a bit lower is because of the difficulty to learn the bot and then relearn it after a while of not playing it. But once I got it to roll and played multiple games of it, I really started to enjoy the solo game also. But again, maybe 2-player is the best here. But the bot from Gathering Storm is great for Race for the Galaxy. Okay, number 24 is my newest game of this 10, and that is Viticultural. This is the Essential Edition, and the automa that comes with it. It basically just blocks you and takes the action places or action spots every now and then and fills some of the spaces, and that's okay. But the cool thing is that you have these like beats of I think 7 rounds to play, and you have to get to 20 points. So it's basically not just that you try to get a high score, but it's first of all you try to win by the 7 rounds, and it teaches you the game, and it has pretty much everything, because the game isn't that like mean or take that, so most of the game feeling is intact. Of course, again, better with more players, but really cool if you just want to play Viticultural and don't have anyone else to play with. Try the Automa and you will like it. I really enjoy it myself. Okay, so on to number 23. I think this was on the list last year, and that is Legacy, the Testament of Duke de Greci. And this is a game I prefer solo, actually. So the solo variant, the Testament variant, is basically where you go backwards than in the normal game. You try to decipher your ancestors and their ancestors, and try to make them have something like a adventures or mansions, and they were maybe a duchess and all these things by finishing these clues that you are given, because you want to get a heritage that has been promised to you, but you have to prove that you are actually a successor of those people that actually give out the heritage. So the solo mode is actually better in my opinion than the base game. The base game is okay, I think, and it's cool historic feeling, so no harm there, and I will play it maybe 2-3 players also, but the solo Testament variant is great. Okay, number 22, and first Danversion games of Field Commander Rommel. And well, this is a solitaire game only, so first, I think it was first of those, yeah. So basically you can play through 3 different campaigns of Rommel and try to beat, like, first beat the game and then maybe try to get a better high score. And some of the scenarios are very hard, but basically this is more like resource management and like optimizing your resource allocation and stuff like that than a basic war game. But once you understand the mechanics, it's just cool to try and play with it, and of course historic feeling, cool cheats and nice mounted maps in the deluxe version, and it's just fun and I can enjoy. I played it like 20 games at least and really enjoy Field Commander Rommel. And then the last one today, and that is Robinson Crusoe Adventures on the Cursed Island. And again, the reason it's a bit lower is because I do prefer this at multiplayer, but this again is one of those games that actually works with the Friday and the dock as a solo game pretty nicely. I recently got the Voyage of the Beagle expansion, but I haven't played that one yet, so I can't comment on that. But the base game of Robinson Crusoe has a lot of replay value and a lot of game in it, and even the same scenario can be played multiple times with still being interesting. And as a solo game it really works because just feels that like, of course it's a co-op game, so it's always a puzzle to solve, I guess, on what you want to do. So if you want to really immerse yourself in the story of or the time period or settings of Robinson Crusoe's adventures, although of course Robinson Crusoe is just basically the name of the game, but still a great game for that. And my number 21 solitaire game. Okay, so that was a quick run through of the first 10 of my list, and hope you enjoyed them, and I'll try to do these rest of these in the next month or so and have 2 more like lists to go on. So I guess that's about it for now, and see you next time. Bye.